Welcome to Saginaw Valley State University. At this time, we ask that you please silence your cell phones. We also ask that you take a moment to familiarize yourself with all emergency exits, both in front of you and behind you. During the ceremony, please refrain from flash photography. Thank you, and enjoy today's investiture ceremony.
Will you please remain standing as the Cardinal Brass Quintet and SVSU student vocalist Rain Clark perform our national anthem? And then please remain standing for the invocation, which will be delivered by Reverend Christopher Pryor, pastor of Victorious Believers Ministry.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
How wonderful. What a joy it is to be here on this day. It's always a great day to be a Cardinal. Any Cardinals in the house, just clap your hands on today. Go Cards. As you bow your head in prayer, we thank God for his goodness. As the psalmist declared, this is the day that the Lord has made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. We thank you and praise you, God, our Father, who art in heaven. Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. And so we thank you, Father, today for your goodness. We thank you for how you've continued to bless us in this day that we celebrate the calling of Dr. George Grant Jr. We pray that you would continue to bless him as the 5th president of Saginaw Valley State University. Father, we thank you for this historic time, and we invoke your presence today as we celebrate this momentous and joyous occasion. Father, we thank you because it is you that gives us strength, and we thank you for this wonderful institution that we call home, Saginaw Valley State University. I pray that you would continue to bless us to make a difference in this community. Allow us to continue to make a difference in this state and in our nation and those in this wonderful world. Father, I pray that you continue to bless this great institution. And we thank you for the legacies that have been left. We thank you for President Marble. We thank you for President Ryder and President Gilbertson and President Bashan, who have led us this far. And so we thank you for the opportunity that Dr. Grant continues to move us forward with this rich history. I thank you for the innovation that you will provide for him and the creativity that you will provide. Father, we give you the praise on today because you are so good. I pray for the trustees and the academia and all who are with us. And we pray for our wonderful students that we will make an impact in their life, that you would always know that we would give you the glory. I pray, God, for favor with government officials, the union, and philanthropists. I pray, God, that you would just continue to be a light in this wonderful institution. We understand, God, that there will be small and difficult tasks that lay ahead of Dr. Grant, but we thank you that he is well prepared. Father, I pray that you would give him the innovation that you gave Noah. Father, I pray that you would strengthen him, that he would have a heart like David. God, I thank you that he would have a mindset like Joshua and Caleb that would say, we are well able to overcome. Father, I thank you for the innovation that you will continue to move him and instill in him, and the wisdom of Solomon that will be a blessing to those. We thank you for the gift of Dr. George Grant Jr. Continue to bless him. Father, I thank you that you would bless his home, his wife, Beverly. God, I thank you for the institution. I thank you that there's peace in their home. I thank you that there's joy, and that because of you, they will rest in balance. Father, I pray for our community as we continue to move forward. For those of us who are in this auditorium full of brilliant minds and gracious people, let us be reminded that you have gifted each of us in various and unique ways. Today, we thank you for our gifts. We thank you for our diversity. We thank you for the passion that you've instilled in us. Let us wrap our hands and our hearts together, that we would work together to support this wonderful leader. We thank you for his humility. We thank you for the integrity and what you've instilled in him. May you get the glory and the honor. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Pryor. Please join me in expressing our appreciation to the Cardinal Brass Quintet and vocalist Rain Clark for their beautiful performances today. Please be seated. I am Dr. Deborah Huntley, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs at Saginaw Valley State University. I am very pleased to welcome you all today to celebrate the investiture of Dr. George Grant, Jr., our fifth president. On behalf of the university, I am pleased to extend greetings to former university presidents and board members, distinguished delegates from sister institutions, guests, faculty, staff, and students. On behalf of the SVSU family, I extend warm greetings to the family of President and Mrs. Grant, who are here with us today. I would like to recognize those individuals from our sister colleges and universities who are attending today's investiture ceremony. Will you please stand when called upon? I would ask the audience to hold their applause until all have been recognized. Representing our sister institutions are Dr. Daniel Eichinger, Vice President for Governmental and External Affairs at Ferris State University, Dr. Michael Gavin, President of Delta College, Dr. Neil Hawkins, President of the Erb Family Foundation at the University of Michigan, Dr. Narita Hughes, President of Bay College in Escanaba, Dr. Benjamin Jenkins, Associate Professor and Chair of the Department of Educational Leadership at Central Michigan University, Dr. Don McMaster, President of Alpena Community College, Dr. Calvin McFarland, Associate Vice President of Student Success and Academic Support Programs at Eastern Michigan University, Dr. Gwendolyn McMillan, Professor of Literacy at Oakland University, Ms. Connie Stewart, Interim President of Montcalm Community College, Dr. B. Donta Truss, Vice President for Enrollment Development and Educational Outreach at Grand Valley State University, and Dr. H. James Williams, President of Mount St. Joseph University, who traveled from Ohio to be with us today. Also with us today are Mr. Dan Hurley, Chief Executive Officer, and Ms. Mia Murphy, Chief Policy Officer for the Michigan Association of State Universities. Please join me in recognizing these representatives of higher education. Thank you. You may be seated. We are also honored today to have several elected officials and their representatives with us. I would ask that they stand when called upon and remain standing. And again, I would ask that the audience hold its applause until all have been introduced. Mr. Quentin Gross, Staff Representative for Senator Gary Peters. Mr. Jacob Bennett, Staff Representative for Congressman Dan Kildee. Mr. Ashton Maloney, District Director for Congressman John Moulinar. Ms. Christine Mall, Staff Representative from the Office of Governor Gretchen Whitmer and the Office of Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist. Mr. Jim Barsha, former U.S. Congressman and current Bay County Executive. Ms. Brenda Moore, Mayor of Saginaw. Ms. Marianne Ackerman, Mayor of Frankenmuth. Mr. Sheldon Neely, Mayor of Flint. Mr. Alan Molesky, Kochville Township Supervisor. And Mr. Eric Rodriguez, Staff Representative for the Saginaw Chippewa Indian Tribe. Welcome to you all, and welcome to our visiting municipal officers, members of the bench, and school superintendents. You may now applaud. Thank you. You may be seated. We are also very pleased to have representatives of our Board of Control present today. This group of men and women are committed to excellence in higher education and know that high-quality education is essential to a democratic society. No group of volunteers serves the university with more dedication or responsibility than our board. And now, when I call their names, I will ask that they stand and remain standing. You may give them a very well-earned round of applause after all have been introduced. Ms. Lindsay Eggers, Vice Chair. Ms. Vanessa Guerra, Treasurer. Ms. Joanne Crary. Mr. Carl Williams, and Board Chair Raj Wiener, who you'll hear from later in the program. You may now applaud. Thank you. The President, as well as the faculty, student body, and staff, help shape the character of an educational institution. For that reason, today's installation of President Grant is an important milestone for SVSU. The people of the state of Michigan trust us with their financial support and look to us to provide quality higher education for our citizens. President Grant brings to Saginaw Valley State University almost 3 decades of outstanding service to education. You can read about his background in your programs, and later he will share his vision for his presidency. After the ceremony, you will have the opportunity to greet him at the reception in the Curtis Hall banquet rooms and seminar rooms. In celebration of this special occasion in the life of George Grant Jr. and his family, and in the history of the university, we're pleased to welcome individuals representing the faculty, staff, students, and alumni to present their greetings and salutations to our new president. But first, it is my pleasure to invite the Board of Control Chair, Ms. Raj Wiener, to the podium to share with us a special tribute from Governor Gretchen Whitmer and Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist. Ms. Wiener?
Thank you, Provost Huntley. We are grateful to have received this special tribute. It reads in part, "Let it be known that it is with genuine pleasure that we congratulate George Grant Jr. upon his investiture as the 5th president of Saginaw Valley State University. Over the course of his career, George has inspired many as a trailblazer and fearless advocate for collegiate student success. The positive impacts of his work will be felt by our state for generations to come. George's work as president will surely help SVSU maintain its legacy of serving its community and our state as a foundational contributor to countless Michiganders' educational success. In special tribute, therefore, this document is signed and dedicated to George Grant Jr. as an expression of our congratulations upon his investiture as the 5th president of Saginaw Valley State University. We wish him success in all future endeavors. And it's signed Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist and Governor Gretchen Whitmer.
Thank you, Raj. It is my pleasure to invite Dr. Brandon Haskett, Faculty Association President and Professor of Music at SVSU, to offer salutations on behalf of the faculty. Dr. Haskett represents SVSU's dedicated and accomplished faculty who are so committed to students and their success. Dr. Haskett?
Thank you, Dr. Huntley. I greatly appreciate the opportunity to represent SVSU's faculty in welcoming Dr. Grant as the 5th president in SVSU's history. I had the pleasure of serving on the interview committee that recommended President Grant to the Board of Control and have had meaningful dialogue with respect to his vision for SVSU going forward. President Grant's willingness to listen, reach out to diverse voices, and think outside the box helped me connect with him during the search process. I continue to be impressed by his enthusiasm for our mission, our students, and the community. It is clear that President Grant values transparency and openness. SVSU has strong programs that make us stand out. We have recently been reaccredited in business and education and have 10 specialized accreditations overall. We are looking forward to a leader that will amplify the story of SVSU's excellent programs across the region. Going forward, I am encouraged by President Grant's dedication to the educational mission of SVSU, community engagement, fundraising, and collaboration amongst all of SVSU's community and university partners. In conclusion, the SVSU faculty look forward to working with you, President Grant, to advance this institution for our students and to continue conversations about how to spread the story of SVSU within and beyond our immediate service region. Thank you.
Thank you, Brandon, for your remarks. Offering congratulations to President Grant from the university's professional administrative staff is Ms. Kathleen Shantaka Kupchak, President of the SVSU Support Staff Association. Ms. Shantaka Kupchak.
Good morning. I'm honored to be included in the investiture ceremony of SVSU's fifth president, Dr. George Grant Jr., and represent the voices of 159 industrious employees who keep SVSU looking beautiful and running smoothly 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We are the front line of the university, the first person you see when you walk into an administrative office, the first person you see when you walk into an administrative office, the person who walks a nervous freshman to their first ever college class, or the person who will clear the path for that freshman after a snowstorm. We are SVSU employees, sometimes SVSU students, and often parents and grandparents of SVSU students. We are SVSU. Dr. Grant began his SVSU career in January 2023. Within his first month at the university, he had met with the support staff leadership 3 times, not because there were problems, but because he wanted to know us and the people we represent. Also within that first month, Dr. Grant made sure the Support Staff Association would be recognized at the formal Board of Control meetings. We knew then that Dr. Grant would be sure that the dedication and contributions of all SVSU stakeholders would be acknowledged and honored. And what a wonderful time for us to begin Dr. Grant's era as we celebrate SVSU's 60th year. For 60 years, SVSU has sent our prepared and eager graduates out into the world to do grand things while embracing the ideas of the Cardinal family. Even within the Great Lakes Bay region, SVSU has been a beacon for sharing culture, innovation, and talent within our communities. We have a lot to be proud of and much to celebrate in the 60th year of existence. We look forward to working side by side with Dr. Grant to further SVSU's place in our community and give SVSU students a home where they can realize their potential, follow their dreams, and bring Dr. Grant's vision of inclusivity to our local communities and beyond. Dr. Grant, on behalf of our members, thank you for welcoming the many clerical, grounds, custodial, maintenance, and skilled trade members to this new chapter of SVSU. To the SVSU community, we look forward to this new journey with Dr. Grant as we invest Dr. Grant and invest in Dr. Grant's vision for SVSU's standout future. It is indeed a great day to be a Cardinal. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathleen. Everything that happens at Saginaw Valley State University has a focus on students. So it is appropriate that our students have a central role in this investiture ceremony. Speaking for the student body today is Mr. Austin Erlob, President of the Student Association. Mr. Erlob?
Thank you, Dr. Huntley, and thank you to the President's Office for inviting me to speak. On behalf of the student body at SVSU, we would like to give Dr. Grant a warm welcome to the Cardinal family, and we are so excited for what is to come in his years of leadership. One thing I have noticed about Dr. Grant in our short time knowing each other is how much he cares about students. He not only makes students feel welcome at SVSU, but he is actively working to improve their college experience. I have heard countless comments from students about their pride in SVSU due to Dr. Grant's constant support of positive change and a welcoming environment. Even though it has been less than a year, the students really are grateful. Another way Dr. Grant has shown interest in our experience is by inviting me, as Student Association President, to speak with different groups on campus. This truly shows how much he cares about the students' opinions at this university, and it doesn't go unappreciated. He has also taken the time to sit down with me to discuss the findings of the Student Association's opinion survey, which provides data about students' current feelings. What's clear from the survey is that President Grant is respected by the students, and for many of them, he is a role model. He certainly is for me, especially with his background in social work, which is my major. Working on my degree, I can see from him what a successful future could hold. In closing, I'd like to touch on the idea of impact per student, which is a term our student government uses when discussing our budget. What is the impact per student of the resources we have? How best can we use them? I'm not sure if Dr. Grant uses that term, but every day he has an impact on students. This is yet another reason I trust that even after I'm no longer president of the Student Association and graduate with my MSW in 2 years, President Grant will still have a positive impact every day on students' lives and will be using the university's assets to build a better future. Thank you.
Thank you, Austin. From its first graduating class in 1966 until today, SVSU has a growing core of alumni who have been successful in business and the professions, the arts, social services, and government, and who have contributed in countless ways to their communities. Mr. Nick Taylor, the Executive Director of Alumni Relations, will speak for the 3 generations of SVSU graduates. Mr. Taylor.
Good morning. Thank you, Dr. Huntley. On behalf of over the 52,000 Cardinal alumni, I extend our deepest congratulations to you, President Grant. Since I first roamed the halls of SVSU more than 25 years ago, the growth of both the physical campus and the support services for students have carried out the university's mission of student success. As a proud 2-time alumnus, days like today provide such a great time to reflect on the glory days, but as well get a glimpse of what is yet to come. With over 30,000 alumni living in our region, we seek to help SVSU stand out among our peers to ensure the next generations of Cardinals can continue a legacy of positively impacting our community and contributing to the future of their chosen field. This positive impact has allowed me and many other alumni to stay involved with SVSU through volunteer time, career help for both students and other alumni, and investing in the future success of SVSU through the University Foundation. We do this because we care. We care about this special community which transforms the lives of so many students. Over the course of these past several months, I've truly valued the continued conversations with Dr. Grant. Dr. Grant, your passion for connecting our alumni with the community of students, faculty, and staff has given us a renewed energy in not only the mission of connecting alumni to SVSU, but also with each other. Cardinals are at their strongest when they flock together. President Grant, our alumni will continue to have the passion and conviction to be here in helping you and the many wonderful faculty, staff, and students carry out our mission as SVSU Cardinals. Our alumni have a critical role in supporting your goals here at SVSU, and we could not be prouder to welcome you as one of our own. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Nick. On the verge of installing its 5th president in a 60-year period, let us pause to reflect on the importance of this moment in the life of SVSU. I would direct the audience's attention to the screen behind me. This marks the 60th anniversary of the founding of this institution, and it is fitting that we reflect on the achievements of our past presidents, the contributions of their spouses and family members, and the dedication of each president's team that has brought us to this point in our history. Yes, please join me in the appreciation for the so many who over the years have contributed to building this outstanding institution. We now come to the principal portion of our ceremony, the installation of SVSU's fifth president. With great pleasure, I again present Ms. Raj Weiner, Chair of the Saginaw Valley State University Board of Control.
Hello, everyone. To all on the platform, I salute you. And to Mrs. Beverly Grant, and the family and friends and colleagues of Dr. Grant, on this very proud occasion, I offer a warm welcome. So many of you, like me, have been attending events at SVSU for years, perhaps decades, like my mother, Professor Emerita Merlin Mondal, or Dr. Carlos Ramey, who has orchestrated this investiture ceremony. Thank you to all of you for continuing to engage in and enjoy these important moments at our institution. To those who are not familiar with SVSU, I hope you will be inspired by the increasing breadth of its community and of its brand of excellence in higher education that places our graduates in high demand for jobs of building better tomorrows. And to those of you who are present here for the first time, welcome, and may we see you often. You will meet some wonderful people here. This is a significant occasion for all members of our SVSU family and for communities beyond its borders. It's a milestone in this institution's history, and it's filled with optimism and promise. Last year, our Board of Control began a search for a new leader for our university. It appointed an 18-member search team that former Board Chair Vicki Rupp and I had the honor to co-chair. We worked along with representatives of the business and labor economic sectors that employ our graduates, with SVSU's own faculty and staff and students and alumni who have cherished and nurtured this institution, with community members who educate and innovate and bring diverse perspectives, and who care about SVSU and care about an educated and informed citizenry, and believe that a college education matters. Together, we embrace the quest of finding the very best person possible for this essential task, the prestigious position of president. And today, I'm here to report that we have accomplished that mission. And here today, each member of that search team has the right to enjoy satisfaction and pride in what this ceremony represents. Thank you to all who served on the search team. If you're out there, you did a good job. SVSU has been blessed with a great tradition of presidential leadership. We thank Eric Gilbertson and Don Bashan for their service, and we believe Dr. Grant will add to that tradition because he is genuinely a good person. And he has the intangible leadership skills that you can learn but are seldom taught. His career has been characterized by his commitment to values that are dear to us and important to our future, and they are grounded in the belief that higher education must be available to all, both as a key and the doorway to achieving one's ambitions and aspirations. He has an internal drive to promote strategic relationships within our institution, and then from our campus to its greater community, and he is a builder of bridges of relationships that support our students. And we are delighted that Dr. George Grant Jr. will serve as SVSU's fifth president. It's the most important decision a Board of Control member makes when they vote to appoint a president. And in addition to selecting the president, the trustees of the university do take seriously our role as overseers of the execution of SVSU's mission. Today, we renew our pledge to remain faithful in our duties, faithful to the trust of the governors who appointed us, and faithful to the people of Michigan. And I would like to ask Dr. Grant to approach the podium. On behalf of the Board of Control, I formally charge you, George Grant, Jr., with the responsibilities of president of this institution, to champion the values of higher education, high academic standards, and pursuit of knowledge and excellence, to represent the university's interest and its goodwill to the communities near and far with a high level of credibility, to prioritize the allocation of our valued resources with integrity and transparency, to strengthen relationships with the faculty and administration with a consistent approach, to create equitable and inclusive opportunities for students and staff, regardless of the uniqueness of their individuality or demographic status or life experiences, to provide reliable communication with the Board of Control so it can make informed policy decisions, and most important, to ensure that we put students first, to shine a light on the path to enhance their success, not on the obstacles to their success, to provide that each student can thrive in their present situation at SVSU, regardless of their past, through an individual experience that also feels part of a community, to ensure an impactful educational experience, not only for a specific career, but also for a lifetime pursuit of intellectual nourishment that emboldens them towards common decency and service to humanitarian good, having the insight to navigate social messaging warfare and to know fact from fiction. With this charge, by virtue of the authority vested in me, I hereby install you as president and entrust the university to your keeping. As a token of your investiture, I present you with this small but powerful symbol of your office, the Presidential Medallion, an emblem every president of this institution has worn. And now please join me in promising our full support to Dr. George Grant, the 5th president of Saginaw Valley State University. And President Grant, we invite you to offer your inaugural address.
On August 16th, 2022, Beverly and I were sitting in a conference room on the second floor of this building with all the blinds shut. The board had called a special meeting to discuss the possibility of voting for the next president of Saginaw Valley State University. Associate Vice President Ron Portwine, who's somewhere out there, was sitting with us in the room. I think Ron had 2 jobs that day. If the board voted no, his job was to tell us the bad news, give us a hug, and show us out the back door. Maybe that's why they had us park in the back of the building. Instead, Ron received the call that the board had voted yes. Therefore, he holds the distinction as the first person to congratulate and welcome us to SVSU. Thank you, Ron. Thank you to our board chair, Raj Weiner, for your inspiring words. Your leadership will be invaluable on this journey. To the Saginaw Valley State University Board of Control, thank you for this opportunity and for entrusting the university to my care. I promise you and all who bear witness my commitment to devote the time, passion, and commitment to uphold the values of this institution, to support our faculty and staff, and our students in their academic pursuits, but also for their lifelong journey of intellectual nourishment to support our region and expand, acknowledge, and encourage engagement across the county, the country, and around the world. A special thanks to then Board Chair Vicki Romp and Vice Chair Raj Weiner for leading the search for the next president of Saginaw Valley, and to the Presidential Search Committee for all your time that you spent on this search. Thank you. To our faculty and staff, the heart of any university, as we continue this journey together, you will have my trust and belief in you as we continue to elevate our university. And I promise you an advocate, a person who believes in what SVSU is and the bright future ahead for all of us. Through our commitment to each other, our students will learn in a safe, caring university that places a priority on student success, exploration, and belonging. This is our commitment to every student. I also want to thank our alumni, our donors, and our community partners for the support that you continue to give to SVSU. And to the Investiture Committee, thank you for all of the hours that you put into making this a special day. Let's applaud them. And to our speakers, thank you for the kind, supportive, and inspiring words. The respect I have for each of you is without measure. Thank you for taking the time to be part of this ceremony. There would have been one more seat for our law enforcement representative, but with the size of this event, we have overflow room as well, they wanted to be in the field supporting all of us on this day. So let us please give a thank you to our SVSU police force for everything they do to allow us to focus on today. There are a few people in the audience I'd like to recognize. I can't see any of you, but I'm sure you're out there. So the first is President H. James Williams, for your friendship, your support, and your leadership. That when you needed a person to turn to, he was the person that I could turn to. And all of the encouragement that he's given me over the years has helped as I stand in this role today. So thank you, President Williams. Mr. Daniel Gross, out there somewhere. It was his wise counsel that when we started this conversation of my work in child welfare and then making the move to higher education. And it was the time and energy and advice that he gave that helped me start that journey of higher education, which I have stayed on since then. So thank you. I also want to thank our guests. We have guests here from Grand Valley State University. So, and we welcomed them. We welcomed them. I know this is not supposed to be part of an investiture talk, but we will win Saturday. I also want to thank our folks from Pennsylvania State University Berks for being here and on our live feed, and to Sigma Phi Pi for being here as well. Thank you very much. I wish I could thank everyone by name who invested in that small child from Detroit. The love of my family, extended family, and friends. The people who tore down walls and provided an opportunity for me to see farther than I thought I could. My neighborhood and my church are central to who I am. And so there's another person that I want to recognize today, and that's Mrs. Ida Poole, which again is somewhere out there, but I don't know where she's at. As we were growing up, and I'll talk a little bit more about that, but when we were growing up, she put her arms around our family, cared for us, supported us, prayed for us, and till this day, she's still holding on to us. Thank you, Mrs. Poole. A lot of my family are here today, traveling from around the country. And my family and Beverly's family are the same, which doesn't happen in all families, but it does in ours. The love and support and respect that we have for each other, and the caring that they've given to both of us, and my family to Beverly and her family to me, has just made this a wonderful opportunity. So thank you all for that. I want to acknowledge my sisters, retired Air Force Sergeant Alice Denton and Allison Grant. I am so fortunate to have sisters who cared and loved me every single day, who supported me, who encouraged me, and was that voice of reason when I needed it, and that hug when I needed that. So thank you, Alice and Allison. Then there's the person who doesn't like this phrase, but it's our First Lady, Beverly Grant. My life has been enriched because I met Beverly. With her love, encouragement, and care, I am so fortunate to have her in my life. Beverly never talks about herself, but she has accomplished so much and continues to have a positive impact on the lives of others. One day, we're going to have to tell her story. Thank you, Beverly. I also want to acknowledge Beverly's parents, Dr. Julius Franks and Mrs. Daisy Franks, two impressive people I got the opportunity to know and love. And since this investiture will be documented in the archives of the university, I need to read into the record the name of my parents, Mr. George Grant Sr. and Mrs. Dorothy Grant. While I wish they were here, they will be with me on this journey and now forever part of the history of this university. To everyone here, I am honored by your presence and for finding the time to be here. I also want to thank everyone on live stream for being a part of this investiture. The last person I want to say hi to is my 4-year-old grandniece, Kyra. Again, it's somewhere over there. I was visiting the family one day, and she was having breakfast, and so I sat at the table with her. And she was just moving up and down in the chair, just jumping and down, all anxious. And I asked what was wrong, and she said, "I'm so happy to see you." And as I see the hundreds of people who came out today, I feel the same way. I am so happy to see you. When this university started, there was no Civil Rights Act or Voting Rights Act. But at the start of this institution, there was a belief in those values. And when the doors opened, there was one guiding principle. You are welcome at Saginaw Valley College. Our four presidents, Marble, Ryder, Giberson, and Brashan, embraced that belief, and through their actions, dedication, and commitment, our doors are still open. And that guiding principle is still in place. You are welcome at Saginaw Valley State University. I love saying that. Because that opening our doors and the work that they did to make sure that our doors were open to everyone. One of my favorite quotes comes from Shakespeare, Othello, where Margot says, "Good name in man and woman, dear my lord, is the immediate jewel of their souls. Who steals my purse steals trash. 'Tis something, nothing. 'Twas mine, 'tis his, and has been slave to thousands. But he that filches from me my good name robs me of that which not enriches him and makes me poor indeed." So what makes our good name?
Standout leadership.
Standout athletics.
Standout research.
Standout academics.
Standout campus. Standout housing.
Higher learning in the region to educate its citizens. They did not wait for others, and in the earlier video, was a picture of the governor signing the charter with President Marble sitting beside him. From that moment, and for the past 60 years, we have evolved to meet the growing and changing needs of our region and our society. We stand out because we stand out because one day we opened our doors to welcome a diverse faculty, staff, and students to our campus. Over the years, we have developed academic programs to meet the changing needs of our society. We understood the need for liberal arts, so we expanded our offerings and programming. We saw the need for education, history, nursing, criminal justice, and engineering, to name a few. I guess I'll add social work for Austin. And now we have over 100 academic programs, not to meet our needs, but to meet the needs of the world and to help make it a better place. Our campus has grown from one building to a bustling campus. While society was deliberating accessibility services, mental health programs, diversity, identity, and belonging, we were developing services to support our students. We became innovators not by following the trends, but by leading. Like a beacon helping to guide people to a better future. That is standing out. Over the 60 years, we understood education is not an ivory tower for only a select few. We engaged with the community, shared our experiences, and we have learned from the community. And that engagement creates strong community partnerships. We are not on the sidelines telling people what to do. We're at the table, sharing our ideas and learning from others. Our region becomes stronger when we come together to listen, problem solve, and implement ideas that go far beyond individual recognition, but by working together, we help to choose those paths and dreams, we help to choose and make those paths and dreams as big as people want. We stand out with our tuition by making it one of the most affordable in the state and around the country. There are a lot of barriers to a person getting a college education. We have pledged to do everything in our power not to be one of those barriers. That is because of our commitment to stand out. We stand out with world-class faculty who circle the globe, dive into the oceans, and reach far out into space. Our staff engage in student activities and supports, too numerous to list. They don't do it for recognition, but because of their commitment to student success. Why stand out? Because that is the substance that makes us be able to use the phrase, "This is a special place." It's by actions, it's by deed, not by words. We are the honest broker that brings divergent voices together. From those voices, we listen, debate, and create something bigger and better than any individual voice can do. That brings us to today and moving forward. There's a concept that I call access, information, and power. Access is how to interact with people that are not part of our worldview. Access is interacting with people outside of our closed circle. SVSU is one way we give people access to great thinkers, problem solvers, and help to change how people see themselves. Information. With access comes information, knowledge that we can share with others. This information can be life-changing. It is sharing what we know with others that makes a difference. And power. If people have access, and from that comes information, people will have the power to make informed decisions for themselves. With new information, critical thinking skills, and looking at themselves with value, they can change their life, their family, and their community. As a university, When we embrace access, information, and power, we stand out. All of this means we give hope. That is how we stand out. One of my favorite authors is James Baldwin, and he has a quote: "The very time I thought I was lost, my dungeon shook and my chains fell off." Saginaw Valley is not lost in a dungeon or in chains. We are the ones doing the shaking. And we ask that you continue shaking with us. There are more people in that dungeon, but we will never give up. I am honored to be the president of Saginaw Valley. I will wear this medallion as a representative of this fine university and for each and every one of you. Thank you for being here, for all of your support, and for making this a standout day. As we say, it is a great day to be a Cardinal.
Well, I don't know where George's 4-year-old great-niece is, but I think that we all share her enthusiasm because, Uncle George, we really are happy to see you. My heartiest and warmest congratulations to our new president, George Grant, Jr. I will now ask Dr. Brandon Haskett, Grand Marshal for today's ceremony, to bring this event to its official close.
This concludes the investiture ceremony for the 5th president of SVSU. We kindly request that all guests, family, and friends remain in place until the platform party and robed faculty and staff have left the theater. Please rise for the recessional.